Is this the end for Blake and Ryan's perfect marriage? Hollywood loves to paint them as couple goals, but come with me because I'm about to show you a timeline full of red flags you've never seen before.
You can go first.
Well, I mean, these movies, everything is done pretty carefully in terms of casting and all that stuff. And, we actually got a chance to.
I went so deep into all the unhinged interviews, clips, and tweets that, girl, I just know Blake and Ryan's PR team hate to see me coming. From suspiciously convenient breakups to siding with famous cheaters and some truly disturbing parenting moments, this relationship is just one red flag after another. But before we get into that, let's do a full timeline from when they met to their after-wedding life, which is just a long and messy thread of controversies. Here's a little background check, y'all. The shady history. When Ryan and Blake met on the Green Lantern set, Ryan was married to MCU's Black Widow herself, Scarlett Johansson. Now, even in their relationship, the red flags started coming up early on, and it's no wonder their marriage ended the way it did. ScarJo and RR were married from 2008 to 2011. She was 23 and Ryan was pushing 32. Even though they both have moved on and are currently in a happy relationship with their respective spouses, rumor has it that Ryan was cheating on Scarlett. But what made people think that? You see, timing matters. Scarlett and Ryan were married from 2008 to 2011. During this time, Blake was still with Penn Badgley in 2010, and yet somehow, by late 2011, Ryan and Blake were suddenly a couple? Oh, and their divorces and breakups just happened to align perfectly? Someone get the FBI on this timeline because I have questions. And if you think I'm just reaching, take a good, hard look at this clip and tell me something shady isn't going on.
Not to love the movie because you guys are so beautiful to watch that I was just like,
Well, hello.
Did you see that? The looks, the smiles, the undeniable chemistry. Would you believe that both of them were technically with other people at the time of this interview? If I saw my man talk like that to his coworker, you bet your bum I'm turning away and never looking back again. Which is exactly what Scarlett did because by the end of 2010, she and Ryan were announcing their divorce.
I've seen her go into a rage spiral. Oh my God.
And the comment section was a hellhole. When I watch Green Lantern now, I don't even view it as a superhero movie anymore. I view it as a real-life love story for Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. In the movie, they really do look like they love each other. The best thing to happen to Scarlett Johansson was Blake Lively. I'm so glad she didn't look back. Another one. Okay, I'm officially nauseated now watching them. Ugh. Us too, Judy. Us too. Ever since they got married in 2012, Ryan and Blake have been shoving their wholesome relationship in our faces, constantly roasting each other on Instagram. Cute, but let's not act like their relationship didn't start on some shady grounds. In a now deleted tweet, the famous American writer and media commentator Kat Marnell said, "Fun fact, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds hooked up when RR was still married to ScarJo and holed up in NOLA hotel room during the Green Lantern." So now the timeline makes even more sense. They weren't just casually coworkers who happened to fall in love after their respective breakups. No, no, no. According to this, they were getting cozy behind closed doors while Ryan was still married. But wait, it gets better. Or worse, depending on how you look at it. And while that was happening, let's take a peek at Blake's side of the mess. Blake's skeletons. While everyone talks about how she ended things with Penn Badgley post-Green Lantern, they conveniently forget another very important person in Blake's dating history, Leonardo DiCaprio. Yep, you heard that right, the famous American actor and serial dater of barely legal models. In 2011, Blake had a summer fling with the then 36-year-old Leo while Blake was 23. I mean, no surprises there. But whatever that was, it didn't last, because guess who swooped in just in time? Ryan freaking Reynolds.
We were both single. We went on a double date she was on a date with another guy and I was on a date with another girl. And that was the most awkward date for their respective parties because we were just like fireworks coming across the...
This dude did not waste a second. And just like that, by late 2011, Blake and Ryan were officially a thing. They don't just allegedly cheat on their partners. Apparently, they also support cheaters. Because why wouldn't they? The case in point is Hugh Jackman's messy divorce. Siding with cheaters. So Hugh ended his 27-year marriage to Deborah Lee Furness in September 2023, and just like clockwork, he was suddenly cozying up to Broadway star Sutton Foster. Hugh and Sutton actually worked together back in 2002, and while they swore up and down that there was nothing going on, Deb always had her doubts. And turns out, she was right. But here's the thing, Deb wasn't even shocked that Blake and Ryan took Hugh's side since she knew they were good friends. She saw that coming. What really stings is that they could have at least given her a heads up. Blake and Ryan knew what was happening before Deb did. They saw it coming, they let it play out, and they still chose to keep their mouths shut. You gotta be a different breed to see a marriage fall apart in real time and stay quiet. And it's no wonder Ryan, Blake, and Hugh all get along. Birds of a feather. Okay, now let's go back to 2012 because we missed a few bright flags. Racist wedding? A year after the Green Lantern era, and the lovebirds tied the knot in what should have been a fairy tale wedding. Except there was just one tiny problem. They got married at Boone Hall Plantation and Gardens in South Carolina. Yep, an actual plantation, a place with a brutal history of slavery, and people were not happy about it. This is very ugly. Very ugly indeed. They then apologized years later when the backlash wouldn't go away, but let's not pretend this wasn't a massive oversight from two people who love playing the woke progressive couple card. But guess what? That wasn't even the only racist controversy they were involved in. More blatant racism. The video I'm about to pull right now, I just know their PR team's gonna be after me, so if I mysteriously go missing, you know what happened.
And I put bronzer all over myself in a Scary Spice fro, so I thought they would think I was like a black girl.
I wish I was making this up, you guys, but nope, it's right there in all its cringeworthy glory for the world to see. But you know what? This is a story about their marriage, so let's not stray too much from our happy couple. For a couple that thrives on their public banter, some of Ryan's jokes about Blake don't really land, like at all.
And my wife, Blake, who is like an alien. It's like MacGyver had a baby with Bridget Bardot.
Ouch, that has got to sting a little. There's some jokes that Ryan makes which come at Blake's expense. Under the jokes, there's definitely some truth to it because when you joke about something again and again and again, it starts seeming less humorous and more like a deep-seated resentment disguised as comedy. Look at this tweet, for example. Just want to wish Billy Ray Cyrus the most special, magical birthday ever. I love you with all my heart. Also, happy birthday to my wife. Ah yes, peak Ryan Reynolds humor. There are moments where you have to wonder, does he actually like his wife, or does he just see her as a never-ending punchline? This man could be standing at the altar about to say I do and still find a way to sneak in a roast before sealing the deal. But truly, is it even surprising anymore since it's coming from a guy who said this?
You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. Second only to this star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
It just never ends. I'm sitting here sweating from the secondhand embarrassment. The worst part is the jokes don't end there. He's like a toxic partner who constantly berates you and then says, "It's a joke, why are you mad?" So true, bestie. Glad I'm not the only one. As if the roastings and passive-aggressive jokes weren't enough, Blake and Ryan decided to take things up a notch for their son's first birthday. And what better way to celebrate than with a giant cake? Sensational parenting.
My birthday cakes always have a little bit of a sense of humor. For my baby, I just did a giant set of
Yes, a cake shaped like for a baby. It's apparent that they can't even control their trashy humor in front of them.
What do they want at one? Like, he can't declare what he wants.
Yeah.
Because nothing screams wholesome family values like a cake in the shape of a pair of for your 1-year-old. Guys, the more I dig in, the worse it gets. And people had all sorts of things to say about that. One person writes a sarcastic, "How classy," and thumbs down emoji. Y'all, when I tell you I wheezed as I went through the comments. Someone called out how disgusting it was of Blake. While we are on the subject of their try-hard, humorous digs, let's top it off with the most controversial and latest one yet. Jokes on
Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Did you see the look on Blake's face? Ryan's definitely hearing it from her once he gets home because wow. Terrible joke and even worse timing, this comment explains it perfectly. Accusing a man of misconduct is not pop culture. Criminality is not entertainment. No claim of bodily misconduct should be a comedic punchline, especially when a case is still ongoing. A longtime Saturday Night Live staffer has claimed that Ryan Reynolds pitched his SNL 50 joke, which poked fun of his and wife Blake Lively's legal drama with Justin Baldoni. Speaking on Australian radio show Fifi, Fev and Nick, Chris Wally Ferriston, known as Cue Card Wally, said that the Deadpool star came up with the line. He had a different line in rehearsal and he pitched that to replace it, so that was his idea to do it. Ferriston, who has been at the iconic sketch comedy show for 35 years, claimed, adding, "We wouldn't want to do anything too controversial unless they were in on it. So yeah, that was his line, that was his idea to do." However, an SNL spokesperson told Access Hollywood that Ferriston's claims were not true. A source close to Reynolds also told Access the opening joke was pitched by SNL and never changed. The follow-up joke was rewritten in rehearsal. Access Hollywood has reached out to Reynolds' team for comment. During the anniversary special, Reynolds appeared in a Q&A sketch hosted by Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, who first asked him how it was going. "Great, why, what have you heard?" he jokingly replied. "Insensitive, tone-deaf, and cruel." SNL has clarified, "We wouldn't want to do anything too controversial unless they were in on it, so yeah, that was his line." But we've also heard that the opening joke was pitched by SNL and never changed. The follow-up joke was rewritten in rehearsal. Let's see how long it'll take them to apologize this time. So after all this, tell me, do they still give couple goals? Or are we counting down the days until the inevitable Hollywood divorce announcement? Because honestly, at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, if you're the type to enjoy celebrity drama, hit that subscribe button and make sure you watch this next video because I have a feeling you're gonna love it.